Hey everybody, Mike McWilliams, Upstairs to the Right Music channel. Just a little housekeeping first. I actually did do a live stream on the 13th like I said that I was going to do, but funny story, my main computer that I was planning on doing, I do everything on, the circuit board blew up on me on Friday. Yeah. Fortunately, I have a backup computer. It's an older one. It's a 2011 MacBook Air, actually. So not the greatest sound card on it, and it just didn't sync up with my audio device. So we did a little bit of a live stream just as a tester. Unfortunately, I was being told I was having audio problems, so I cut it short. But I did do it. Hooray. But seriously, I am planning on doing it again, probably jumping up sometime this weekend, possibly even tomorrow night. If you're there and you join in on it, I appreciate you always just showing up and saying hello. Just getting my foot in the water, so to speak, as far as live streaming is concerned. So it's going to be rough the first couple of times. I just asked everybody to bear with me. Fortunately, I got my computer back. It wasn't able to be repaired, so we should be able to go forward with that without any problems. Okay, on to today's subject. How are those tube amps working out for you guys? Well, so far probably okay, especially if you just bought it. The purpose of a tube amp is to drive that signal through that preamp, through those tubes, and then out through the power amp to your speaker to get that really warm, beautiful tone that you can't even get from a solid state equivalent. Well, it works out great until those tubes that you need in order to drive that signal through become almost impossible to find, and that is today's subject. I have here a banned item. This is now a banned item in the world. This cannot be obtained anywhere outside of Russia, so it might as well be unobtainium. This is a Electro-Harmonix 12AX7 tube. Now, before the sanctions were placed on Russia and caused the inability for Electro-Harmonix to ship anything out from their factory, the tube market, as we discussed in previous months, we've talked about this, was already in a dismal situation. This situation now, with the sanctions placed on Russia and thus sanctions placed on these tubes, have turned a bad situation even worse. A lot of guys are reporting on this on YouTube. Their take on it is going to be a little bit different than mine. I find this to be a very serious situation. I find this to be a very serious situation regarding this tube supply issue. Now, I also reported to you that Gibson was planning on coming out with their line of Gibson amplifiers. These are tube amps that they were going to come out with. You can forget about that. That's not going to happen. When the cost, the availability first of these is minimal, no pre-orders are available. All the pre-orders that were placed are now being canceled. So that means that whatever you have in stock, as far as tubes are concerned, is what you've got now. That lays out bare to every manufacturer of tube amplifiers right now. And Gibson, I do not believe, even with their partnerships with companies that do have supply, a dwindling supply that they need for their own productions, a new production Gibson amp is probably out of the question. And that's what I mean. A lot of lines that were probably in the works, on the board, so to speak, to be done are not going to happen now. The existing lines that you're seeing right now that we have, they are going to be curtailed. I don't think the production of them are going to be as great in volume as you were seeing before. Also, I believe that the cost of the existing lines are going to go up as well. They are going to reflect not just the issue in terms of obtaining these tubes, but also the other parts that may or may not also be sanctioned at this moment. So, what does that mean for you as a tube amp owner? That means for you as a tube, I have one tube amp. You know, guys, you can have whatever mini guitars you want to have, but I always believe that you should have the best tube amp that you could possibly afford to buy, or that you could possibly afford to put together. This is my perfect tube amp. I don't see the need to own any other tube amp. It's perfect for gigging, it's perfect for recording. The modifications that I've done to this thing make it outstanding, and I don't see the need for anything more than that. I actually have a huge collection of tubes. I have tens times more tubes than I have an amp. So my point being is that I'm good. Are you good? I think you need to get yourself good. Whether you got one combo amp or a head, or you got 50 of them, I highly recommend that you go out there right now today and you start sourcing yourself as many tubes that you think you're going to need in order to keep your collection functioning as if this was it, as if there are no more tubes that are going to be available. You need to look at it like that, because with these lead times, you're looking at 2 years. And you're looking at the cost of something that when I first started buying this particular one, it was $7.99. Then it got to $18.99. Then it got up to $23, $24, and now you can't buy it at all. Not available. Gone. Done. For the time being. And that time being, it could be a month, it could be a decade. You just don't know. So my advice to you today is to stock up on tubes. If you're a tube amp aficionado, if you have a lot of them and you really plan on holding on to your collection, I go out there and start buying these, because these are going to go, just a regular 12AX7 tube like this, I foresee in the future going to be somewhere in the $65, $75 range, just on these. So the inflation that's going to hit that market, it's already there, is going to become apparent as well. Just keep your eye on Reverb to see if I'm lying. Anyway, so a little bit of doom and gloom. I'm sorry guys today to have such a not a positive thing to talk about, but as you know on this channel, I want to bring you information so that you can make informed choices. I think it's very important that you know what's going on out there. A lot of us have busy lives, and maybe you come to a channel like mine to say, hey, what's going on? And hey, I wasn't aware of that. Well, now you are. Do I think that you should sell your tube amp? No. Actually, I think, as I said, because the commercial availability of tube amps is going to start to get smaller and smaller and smaller, for those of you who have tube amps, the value of those amps in that kind of market does what? Yeah, goes right up. So the value of your tube amp is only going to increase. So if you got them, hold on to them. Just make sure that you have the necessary parts that you need in order to maintain them and keep them going. And as I mentioned, the best way to look at it is to look at it, view that this is it, that I'm not going to be able to get this again for a number of years. And you're probably not that far off. Okay, that's it for today's show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. I thank you so much for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed and you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave your comment. And until the next time, you guys take care. Bye-bye.